So I just got done reading A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens for the very first time, and I am now convinced that the majority of the book is actually just a dream by Ebenezer Scrooge. So, for those of you who don't know, A Christmas Carol is the story of the old miser who gets visited by three, or well, technically four ghosts. And when he wakes up, he's a changed man. He's now charitable and giving and friendly and, all that good nature stuff. But I'm convinced that the entire thing was just a dream by Ebenezer Scrooge and is mostly surrounded by one chronologically confusing detail by his old business partner, Jacob Marley, who says, and I quote, "Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls one. Expect the second on the next night at the same hour, the third upon the next night when the last stroke of 12 has ceased to vibrate." So that means the way I'm understanding this is the story starts out on Christmas Eve, the night of Christmas Eve, December 24th, and the first ghost is supposed to visit him tomorrow, meaning the 25th, and then the next one is supposed to visit him at the same hour the day after that, so the 26th, and then the last one is supposed to visit him at midnight the following day after that, so December 27th. Here's the thing though. Once the last ghost, the ghost of Christmas yet to come, visits him on the 27th, supposedly, once that ordeal is over, he then wakes up in his own bed, and it is, lo and behold, Christmas morning. How did we get from December 27th, the night of December 27th, to now the morning of the 25th? Okay? Now, if Jacob Marley or even the ghost of Christmas yet to come had, somehow explained, oh, once this ordeal is over, we will send you back in time, basically, because that's what they're doing. They're time traveling, essentially. We will send you back to the 25th so you can put these lessons into motion. But they make no mention of that. Jacob Marley doesn't mention that. The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come doesn't mention that. In fact, he doesn't talk at all. He actually just points. The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come can't talk. He just points at things. That's how he communicates. So there is no mention of any sort of time traveling or any explanation how he went from December 27th to now the morning of the 25th, okay? And I would be okay with time travel as a plot device. Just explain that so I know, what happened. So that's why it makes sense to me, primarily, that this was a dream. Ebenezer Scrooge went to sleep on the night of the 24th, had one hell of a crazy nightmare, and then woke up the next morning on the 25th. That makes perfect sense. Also, Ebenezer Scrooge cannot confirm that the visions he saw with the Ghost of Christmas Present actually happened, okay? Because the Ghost of Christmas Present shows him two primary visions, one of Bob Cratchit and the other one of his nephew, who I don't think they ever named, actually. But he has no way of confirming that the visions he saw actually happened, because when he wakes up on Christmas morning, the actual Christmas morning, he actually at no point goes to see Bob Cratchit that morning. He buys him that prized turkey and everything like that, and he has it delivered anonymously, but he does not go into his house. Unlike what some of the movie adaptations may show in the book, he does not go to Bob Cratchit's house, so he cannot confirm that what he saw in Bob Cratchit's house actually happened. Furthermore, he ends up going to have dinner with his nephew instead, but by him showing up to go to his nephew's dinner party, he then changes the events of, he basically changes the timeline, because in the original vision, his nephew was playing some game called, Yes, No, and he made Ebenezer Scrooge the butt of a joke and whatever because he wasn't there. But because Ebenezer showed up, he doesn't play that game and doesn't make him that joke, okay? So he has no way of confirming that what his nephew would have done had he not been there, so he cannot confirm that either. So it's very possible that he dreamt both of those up. Now, the only hole that I can find in this theory is the fact that Ebenezer Scrooge was supposedly still awake when he was visited by the ghost of Jacob Marley. However, this could have been one of those things where, you ever had a dream that you were so sure was real, and then it turns out it wasn't, it was just a dream. Maybe this is what happened to him. Maybe, Ebenezer Scrooge dreamt seeing his old business partner as a ghost. Maybe that was part of the dream too. I don't know, But that's all I got. That's the only thing I can think of that would make it possible that the whole story wasn't actually a dream. Now, for those of you who have read the story more times than I have, because like I said, I've only read Christmas Carol once. So those that are more familiar with the story, if you can think of other reasons why this wasn't a dream, or if you can think of reasons why it was a dream that I didn't mention, please by all means comment them below. I would love to hear them. But anyway, that's it for me. So until next time, remember, nothing in life is free except for liking, commenting, and subscribing. See ya.